Hi everyone, this is Kenzie.
The new uber crappy series that was shown on CN a while ago. Total disgrace to the Gundam series. It's unfunny, the action is slow, and the Gundams look so stupid.
The two games that we're looking at today are both tailored toward SD Gundam specifically, and I was ecstatic because one of them is a shining example of what I think Gundam games should be, and the other is slicing your carotid artery.
Steaming pile of mini Gundam turd. Seriously, not related to the Gundam series at all. At all!
The last SD Gundam games that I looked at were MS Saga: A New Dawn and G Generation Cross Rays, and both were a nice breath of fresh air, but also weren't the most amazing games to me, so more like a breath of fresh air in the oblongs, or like Cleveland or something. But either way, I appreciated the change of pace, and I wanted more like it ever since those two. Now, I feel that if I want to play the newest SD Gundam game that literally no one talks about, I wanted to juxtapose that, I guess that's the word, with a game that came from 3 generations ago that is within the same series, fits within the same genre of gameplay, kinda, I guess, whatever, and people also don't talk about. SD Gundam runs circles around totally spot. Actually, hold the fucking phone. You're lying. You are literally
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
So yeah, SD Gundam Force Showdown and SD Gundam Battle Alliance. We gotta walk before we can run. So let's walk through some glass together and experience SD Gundam Force Showdown, starring Yuri Lowenthal. Again, I can never escape him.
It's my stress, that's for sure.
Now, ignoring the fact that this game looks like something that would come on Jetix, and yes, I know it actually came on Toonami, leave me alone, I just wanted to make a cute reference. SD Gundam Force Showdown is just one of the most wool over my eyes ass games I've ever played in this series. Games with amazing presentation that end up being equivalent to a sinus infection are some of the worst experiences, period. Games that are bad from the start are easy to drop, but the ones that don't show it at first, they hook you. They hook you, and then you want to find out if it was really a fluke or not. Showdown, more like Man Down, because this game tried to kill me. The intro is kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon show. I have no idea if SD Gundam is like this in the media, but the animation is pretty damn good. It shows this silly little guy beating the shit out of other little Zaku things, and then the other guy is all like, I went the sorcery build, witness me you troglodytes! And then this other dude is a samurai, and he's gonna Yuri all over their Lowenthals. Now we have our group of 3 powerful protagonists. All have showed off their diverse abilities, and the organization they work for is ASS, the Awesome Suit Syndicate. What? Oh, you want to correct that misinformation? Do it. Go down to the comments and tell me what the name of their organization really is. Don't pause, and as you scroll down, you should feel your penis get smaller and smaller in size. Now, typically, when I start recording any game, I go to the options to tweak any settings that make the experience easier to...
Zacko!
Our
Game option!
What the fuck?
Today's meeting is all about
how this option screen lets you set your speakers according to the TV you're using.
Okay, now this is a phenomenon that most would call an inconvenience. I'm glad you can skip this, because that alone makes this a cute scene for those that want to watch corny English dub instead of the digital equivalent of a flat tire. Zakkos are cute, and I suppose this isn't terrible. Maybe the endless downward spiral of life has made me bitter. Who really knows?
Want to remind you to take a break from the game every once in a while, Zacko.
Take a break? That sounds great! Too bad I'm always working, you gaggle of green goofballs, Zacko.
Now it's time for us, the Gundam Force.
Oh wait, that's what they are. They're the Gundam Force. See, I told you earlier. What do you mean I'm gaslighting you? You're being unreasonable. Calm down. The SDGF's main objective right now is to investigate the dimension Halo. What is that? I don't know. Neither do they. So they send in the best of the best to handle it. Side note, but holy shit, I love this art style. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The early 2000s hyper anime 3D JRPG look, your Virtua Quests, your Star Ocean 3s, your Xenosagas, I love it. The game in and of itself doesn't look amazing. It's a standard PS2 game, and it probably didn't even look that good back then. But these art styles will always be timeless to me personally. Back on track though, let's formally meet our playable characters, starting with Captain Gundam.
I'm picking up multiple energy sources coming from the Neotopia area inside the dimension Halo.
Oh my god, I can't believe there's energy sources in the Halo. I sound like a 4Kids dub character. I activate Mirror Force to destroy all attack position monsters you control. Why the fuck do I sound like Nuxtaku?
Zero is next, and Mommy, sorry, Mommy. Sorry, Mommy. Sorry, Mommy.
Huh. How unsightly.
And Bakunetsumaru is the last one, and he's...
A samurai, and a samurai.
He and Zero argue a lot. It's not the most witty banter, but hey, it's a kid's game. They can't exactly call each other cocksuckers or motherfuckers. I think the way it is now is fine for the age gate. Okay, yay, some gameplay. Fuck, this camera feels like it's hanging off of a trapeze artist. You're telling me there's nothing else in 2004 that y'all could have done? This is like weirdly intentional. Like, I almost don't want to point out how sloppy this camera is due to it probably being some kind of joke. It's truly egregious. But hey, according to the intro movie, I have the promise of some baller gameplay to look forward to, so let's not pass judgment. Let's just talk to Bellwood. Oh shit, wait, hold on. I can look around my room and name my characters some stupid shit too. Oh, here's my cool character named Thumbtack Wall Scroll. Okay, we're finally able to play this game. It's time to live the hack and slash fantasy afforded to us at the beginning of this game. Let's fucking go! Oh, yeah, this is a game for the little kitty witties, so I guess tutorials are necessary. Okay, now let's play... Whoa, what the fuck? Someone had to play this and be cool with shipping this bullshit out. I know y'all can't feel it, but I know y'all can see that something is just off. Like, off a cliff in Minecraft. This camera and the movement is just so garbage. You auto-aim at enemies and you can swap between targets, so like Kingdom Hearts, but made in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
This is crack. Rock cocaine.
This is a necessity as well because actually trying to hit things is super clunky and just completely hindered by this camera work. Shortly after I realized that auto-aim was so powerful, I just sat there and shot my gun, and it was very effective.
I shoot niggas for fun.
Unfortunately, playing with Captain Gundam never got better. It was truly life-threatening shit, and personally, I do not acknowledge him anymore. Now, to be fair, there are 2 more characters that they showed off, and they seem to have much more eccentric styles and more personality. So let's see how Zero plays. Okay, now we're cooking! While Captain Gundam gets all the terribleness figured out, here comes the SD Step-On-Me Queen herself to pick up some of the slack. Yes, the fighting is still like driving a truck with bad shocks, but her moveset is much more fun because she just overcompensates for it by being fucking badass. The combos in this game, if you can land every hit, ends with a super duper move, and it typically is a stronger version of whatever thing you were using before it. In Captain's case, he just shoots a bigger dumb bullet. With Zero, she causes the second Ice Age. She also has some pretty sick movement options. That means basically nothing, but it's cool nonetheless. Around this time was where I also realized that playing at 2x speed on an emulator was basically a fix for the game. The game is sluggish and weird to play normally, but actually gets some twitchiness at double speed, and it also makes the game snappier to play as a result. Yeah, regular PS2s can't do this, but if you're playing this on one of those anyway, then that is what I affectionately refer to as a you problem. Now on to Baku. Hell yeah, now he's pretty badass! Zero is a bit more graceful than him, but overall they both play better than Captain Gundam. I use play better pretty generously though, because no matter who you're playing as, the game overall just ain't it, chief. It's literally like wow, who did that? I think Never Ending Tomorrow is better, and I will hold that to my fucking chest. But, of course, y'all already knew that if y'all read the title. So let's get to the best of SD Gundam games, in my opinion, before I pass out recording this line. Fuck, I'm hungry. Now, when this game came out, the cute bitches in the Discord said that this game was adjacent to Kingdom Hearts, and that is a hard sell. I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and comparing one of these things to my beloved is something that I can only meet with a curious optimism, because I do believe that anyone who says something like that has to know what they're talking about. Side note, but this game was developed by ArtDink. This only reminds me of that one Cat Icarus video about Mr. Domino, and he says it like,
a Japanese company called Art, dick.
So I'm already warmed up and ready for a mating press. Let's get to the game. Right off the bat, I can go ahead and tell you that this game is the best timeline version of SD Showdown. Yes, they have a million more times the horsepower to work with, but as I have shown on this channel before, sometimes the raw power of newer hardware doesn't automatically mean that they'll use it the best way they can. This game feels like the game that Showdown should have been, and that has nothing to do with the higher power hardware in my opinion. Not only does the camera function, not perfectly, but it definitely works, which is as much as I can say for SD Showdown, the combat is much more fluid by comparison, and it really does allow for some combo expression, which does align with the Kingdom Hearts allegations. Allegations? Like Sora assaulted someone. My experience working with Xemnas, speaking my truth. Now, to reiterate, it's not exactly a fair comparison, and I know that, but I think this is a valid chance to call out fundamental flaws within games, no matter what or when they came from. Your game could be on the PS1 with no analog sticks, and you could still put work into having a functional camera, no stiffness in combat, and still have enough time to take the dog out at the end of the day. The combat is impactful and responsive, and even a bit twitchy, which I love. You can cancel your attacks with the guard button and create new paths to beat people up, even though the combos aren't really required to be longer or anything to be more effective, but it's fun to have the option to craft your playstyle. Overall, the gameplay is satisfying, and while not perfect, it's fucking close. Now, where the new generation does help this game out is in the graphics, and this has got to be my personal favorite looking game besides Gundam Evolution and Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. It looks genuinely beautiful. The character portraits and sprites are high quality, and the 3D models look just masterfully done. I'll get into this a little bit later, but I have to touch on the models. The models hold a lot of weight to me personally in Gundam games, as I think I've made that clear at this point, and this game passes the vibe check with flying colors. And I can't lie, the story premise isn't that bad either. I've gotten pretty used to the Gundam story thing at this point. Typically in Gundam games, you go in order of story, going from MSG to Zeta to ZZ to Char to wherever they decide to stop in whatever game it is. Here, you fight Rambo-Rao's Goof as the first boss fight, but plot twist, it turns into Barbatos? So naturally, something is fucked in this Dragon Ball Xenoverse. After that fight, you make it back to base to regroup with these two cuties. Juno Astarte, who I started flirting with frame 1 because my Riz is unbeatable. Whoa, Gundam Barbatos? That was rad as heck, man. Absolutely bonkers, bro. That was the fucking bee's knees, my dude. Right. There was a cute little scene as well where this character doesn't have a name, so Juno, the other character, gives them a name, and their name becomes Sakura Slash. Sakura coming from her code name SACRA, which is close enough to Sakura, I guess. And Sodashu coming from the fact that they have a slash in the code name. Look, I said it was cute, not groundbreaking, okay? Now, the baseline premise I mentioned before is easy to explain, which I appreciate. There's some timeline fuckery happening that screws with the events of Gundam. These events of fuckery are called breaks, and of course we have to stop these from happening because these events, while they're all simulated, can actually screw with the real timeline. While I was playing, I couldn't help but think about Dragon Ball Xenoverse. We even have our own Trunks and Supreme Kai of Time. But where this game really impresses me is the way you progress and unlock content. The game is more or less linear in terms of just your typical beat 'em up, but this game ups the replayability by letting you collect blueprints of other mobile suits and getting to play as them. And what I thought they were gonna do was only give you mass-produced suits at the beginning and slowly drip-feed you the cool suits. And they were doing that for a little minute until they just dropped Barbie on my fucking head. I feel like this is a great way to unlock characters in like fucking anything. It's not too slow, the dopamine gets flowing from the unlock animations, and the suits are all assigned to different roles, which means stat and move differences. No two suits that I've played with at this point have been so similar to each other to where I wanted to just play the same suit over and over. Some suits are better at the brah brah, and other suits are good at mauling things until the pain stops. You can also level up each suit individually and fit them with parts that upgrade them in specific ways that suit you. Because I got started in the game so late, they gave me so many level up credits that I was able to start a small crypto business. Zako coin. So yes, I leveled up everything I could, but they do limit your stats for a while until you progress, so you don't one-shot everything in your way, which I do admire because there isn't that many enemies on screen, so if you could just get rid of them that fast, then this would just be SD Fallout at a certain point. Which isn't to say anything about how the game looks. Yes, I'm going back to that. This game is literally the graphical equivalent of an oasis in a desert, but instead of sand, it's a melty blood player's sex life. I am sorry. Something about this game's lighting and shading really just works, and I really hope they reuse this for future games, not just this. There's this per object motion blur that the game uses in moderation that really accentuates how swift yet graceful these animations are. It's right in the middle of realism and stylization, and I got used to that in New Gundam Breaker, and it is used to great effect here. There's environmental destruction, which isn't handled the most tactfully, but it's there, and it's fine. These factors all come together to make a game that looks like a scale modeler's wet dream, and don't worry, I won't tell anyone you're dreaming about fucking robots. I also wanted to touch on the movement in this game a bit more, because this is something that I cannot stress enough, and I will shout it from the heavens and hells as many times as I need to. Animation canceling is one foolproof way to make your game better. Even if you're making a fucking online card game, bitch, you better let me cut those card animations by 5 frames. Actually, you can cancel pretty much anything in this game with your block button, which means you can wave dash, which immediately makes me want to go through with this dumbass idea. As far back as history goes, Kenzie has never speedrun anything in his life, except for the first level of Sonic Unleashed, and the first level of Sonic Adventure, and getting into the castle of Super Mario 64. But that streak of doing absolutely fucking nothing with their time ends today. This is Kenzie K. SummoningSalt edit, or whatever. That was fun. If I had to put a teensy tiny itty bitty yellow polka dot bikini on this one, just play the game. Buy it, download it on Game Pass. It's worth every digital smackaroon you spend on it because it's genuinely a good time and very competently made. It is the best SD Gundam has to offer out of everything I played. Don't forget that literally out of everything I played on the channel. Not the best SD Gundam game ever. I don't know that for a fact. Just putting that out there. If you really want to twist my arm, one of the best Gundam games I've played to date, actually. Avoid Showdown like the plague unless you want boils or whatever plague bearers get. These are the type of Gundam games that should get pushed into the greater consciousness, because the fact that I hear more about Gundam Battle Operation 2 than this game is criminal in my honest opinion. Lock they asses up. Lock them up. There's enough space for this gem, so give it the space, goddammit. It deserves it. If I get even one other person to play it for the first time, then bitch, I did my job. As usual, more bangers are coming. I'm working on a big ass compilation video, so look out for that if you're a new viewer and want to know just how many Gundam games I've covered. That's gonna be a good watch for y'all. No matter how long I take, I am always working and will provide another banger in due time. I've established a little schedule for myself, and that'll probably allow me to work on videos more and stream in my busy ass life. So let's see how it goes. I might stick to it, whatever. I'm gonna make videos regardless. But as usual, stay hydrated, stay safe, and most importantly, bruh, stay cute, you lovely time patrollers.